one, for an infinite geometric series from n equals 1 to infinity of square root of sine of x to the power of n minus 1, we're going to answer these two questions. Find the range of x so that the series converges, and find the value of x so that the sum of the series is 2 plus square root of 2. Alright, so for this one, for it to converge, our r has to be less than, absolute value of r has to be less than 1. So this is what we're looking at for this. So the infinite series here, and I'll write it a little bigger because it's kind of small here, to infinity of square root of 2 sine of x to the power of n minus 1, and we're in quadrant 1. Alright, so when n is 1, our first term is going to equal 1. But our common ratio is this right here. So r equals square root of 2 sine of x. So that means absolute value of r has to be less than 1. So that's where it's going to converge. And what we're going to do is use our definition of absolute value and write this as -1 is less than square root of 2 sine of x, which is less than 1. All right, so let's divide each of these terms by square root of 2. So we get -1 divided by square root of 2 is less than sine of x. It's less than 1 divided by square root of 2. All right, since since we have this, x is less than or equal to pi divided by 2, but greater than or equal to 0, that means my x, for this to be true, my x has to be less than or equal to 0, greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to pi divided by 4. Right, because sine of pi divided by 4 is 1 divided by square root of 2. So there is that convergence. This is where it converges. All right, number 2. So number 2, we're going to find the value of x so that the sum of the series is 2 plus square root of 2. So we're going to use our sum. Again, we have the sum for n equals 1 to infinity of square root of 2 sine of x to the power of n minus 1. And we already found that using this formula here, our first term is 1 divided by 1 minus, this is your common ratio. We have square root of 2 sine of x. And we want this to equal 2 plus square root of 2. Now, if you notice that if sine of x equals 1/2, so if we let sine of x equal 1/2, we're going to get 1 divided by 1 minus square root of 2 divided by 2, which equals 1 divided by 2 minus square root of 2 divided by 2. That equals 2 divided by 2 minus square root of 2. When you rationalize the denominator, 2 plus square root of 2, and multiply this by 2 plus square root of 2, the denominator is going to be 4 minus 2, and this is going to give you, which is 2, and the numerator is going to be 4 plus 2 square root of 2 divided by 2. And this gives you 2 plus square root of 2. Now, the way I did this was more mental because I noticed that the conjugate thing going on here, but you could have also cross-multiplied and solved for sine of x as well. So basically, our sine of x has to be, let's see, where am I? is going to be equal to 1/2, and that's in the interval of, let's see, if your sine of x is 1/2, and it converges in this interval here from pi divided by 4 to 0, then that means our x itself has to equal pi divided by 6. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.